And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another month, another edition of the OlimoLeague monthly finals, the January edition for 2025. I'm, of course, host Live VIP with you. I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in the chat, by my plushies as well. Welcome, one and all, to another month of OlimoLeague. Let's go. Let us go. OlimoLeague, of course, is a weekly open tournament. Every single week, players, they compete, they duke it out here, and they do gain points throughout the week, of course. Money as well, and throughout the course of the month they're invited. Players, they are seeded, they're invited, they gain points here to be invited towards the monthly finals, and here we have the top players for the month of January in OlimoLeague. Let's go, Papi. Let us go. And again, for those that are curious, these events did occur yesterday morning, technically, did conclude yesterday morning. Unfortunately, we were going to be casting it yesterday as well, but we didn't quite get the replays in time, weren't able to cover it. Instead, we did settle for the KSL cast, but now we're back. Now we're back 24 hours later with the OlimoLeague broadcast. Let's go. Let us go. For those that are curious as to why this is not casted live, the event is broadcasted live over on Chijik, which is a different streaming platform. It is not on YouTube, not on Twitch. The main sponsor of the event is Chijik, so because of that, if you do want to cast this live, it does have to be on their platform. As a result, we actually used to cast it live, but we had a bit of a harder time kind of having viewers kind of transfer over, having viewers find us on Chijik and actually watch us there as well. In the end, we determined it wasn't quite worth it. Wasn't quite worth it in the end to sacrifice that many viewers just to watch it, just to cast it live. So instead, we're casting it via replays to a wider audience instead. That's how we do. That is how we do. For now, though, we're going to be jumping in. Speaking of jumping in, oh my god, thank you so much to a new sub in the chat. Gab, I think to Bella Mervado. Oh my god, thank you. Thank you so much for subscribing for the first time. Thank you for the support. We do always appreciate it. So we appreciate the support in the chat. It's thanks to you that we're able to do this as often as we do. Again, we cast twice a day, every single day, sometimes 3 times a day. All the content, all the StarCraft. Thank you. Thank you, Papi. Thank you. Do appreciate it. And we can now take this moment to have a look at the bracket itself. Let's go. Let us go. Again, thank you so much for subscribing, and I hope you enjoy the emotes in the chat. I hope you enjoy the replay packs as well. You can join us on Discord. We do hand out replay packs to our subscribers, so there are benefits as well. There are benefits to it. Otherwise, bam, we have our beautiful brackets. Let's go. Let us go. We have our round of 8. We have our quarterfinals. We have herO versus Percival, Shin versus Cure, Zound versus Creator, and Clem versus Geralt. We have 8 players here before you, and the first round is going to be a best of 3. Second round is a best of 5. Finals a best of 7. Let's go. It's catching up. I love the laugh. Don't know why I haven't subbed earlier. Go, go. Ah, thank you, thank you. Do appreciate it. Do appreciate it. Ah, gracias, gracias. These matchups look fire. Always, always. The best of the best here in the OlimoLeague. The best of the best. We're going to be going from top to bottom. Up first, we have herO versus Percival. I mean, shout out to Percival, by the way. Percival, he is a returning player. He did retire for most of 2024, by the way. He retired. He stepped away from the game. But recently, in December, he did come back to competitive play. I would say that Percival, he's still finding his footing. He's still kind of clawing his way back in. But for Percival to make it here to the top 8 shows that he has been on the rise, that he has been improving. But how does he compare to the best Protoss in all of Korea? Arguably the best Protoss in the world. That's let's go, Papi. Let's go. As we're jumping into game number 1. So just catching up in the chat. Share my Papi, share my. Good to see you. As always. Oh. And here we go. We're jumping in and spawning in the right-hand corner of Ultra Love. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the blue Protoss, representing Weibo Gaming, WBG. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the returning Terran, the red Terran. It is Percival. Also from South Korea, here we go. We have our PvT. Of course, herO has been on that grind, has been playing in every which event he can get his hands on, whether it's the WTV Mondays, whether it's the Pegasaur Mondays, or even here in OlimoLeague as well. herO just now coming off of a second place finish in Masters Coliseum. He came second only to StarCraft. Likewise in Little League Cup, had a bit of a rougher performance, I should say. herO, he did end up in, I want to say, around 5th place, like 5th place in Little League Cup. Did go down a little bit earlier in the bracket to Rainer in a clutch best of 5. Was very, very clutch in that match, in that series. I do recommend the VODs, whether it's for Masters Coliseum or Little League Cup. All the VODs are on YouTube, do recommend. And after those events, I mean, herO, he's still not taking a break. No breaks for herO. He, of course, is this week's KSL champion as well. He did win the KSL, and now we're here facing off in OlimoLeague as well. We'll see if anyone can bring him down. Percival is the first to rise to the challenge behind this double gas opener out of Percival, going for a faster factory, delayed CC from our Terran player. If you have been watching Percival as of late, then you would know that Percival has been hyper aggressive. He's been very aggressive as a player. We have been watching his specifically TVP. We saw him against Trigger. We've seen him against herO and other Protoss players, and typically it's two-base play. It's I think we did see that in the OSC matches as well, where we would see either 2-base all-ins or 2-base committed pushes. Here is what we expect out of Percival. We'll see if he does take a more macro approach this time. Double gas is aggressive, but not all-in by any means. Double gas leads into the natural eventually, and from there we can start to work our way up. I want to say that 1-base all-ins are very uncommon. But as I say that, we also did cast herO yesterday, and he did go for a 1-base all-in. Like, herO was an animal, Poppy. He was an animal. We love him for it. We do love herO for it, as a Percival is expanding, thankfully. CC is on the way, back at home. herO, he is going to be following this up here with the standard opener, just Gate, Cybercore into Nexus, everything looking normal. And welcome one and all to Ultralove. Ultralove, of course, being one of the smaller maps of the map pool, and herO is being active, coming for a second scout. He does throw down this tech. It is going to be a Twilight Council opener. Okay, Twilight Council play here out of herO into Blink Stalkers. How many gates? We'll keep an eye on it. We'll see if it's going to be 2-gate Blink, 3-gate Blink, or 4-gate Blink Stalker. One more aggressive than the other, of course, can lead into hyper aggression or more greedy play. So we'll keep an eye on herO's gateway count. For now, second gateway has been thrown down, and we'll see if he gets a third. Probe Scout is denied. Does scout the Hellion at least. Behind this Percival going for a reactored Reaper into no additional Hellions into Widowmine. So he's setting up for an earlier Widowmine drop instead. Second Rax on the way, and soon to be the Medevac as well, as that is a second Widowmine queued up. So double Widowmine drop here out of Percival. As across the map he does rally. Does rally in. He can, of course, KDA charge those Stalkers out of position. Does knock them off. And he does go for the dive. Can he get into a middle line so far, diving on that first Stalker, but alas is going to be zoned away even without a shield battery. herO holds. Very impressive defense here out of herO. There's going to be a 2-gate setup here on the low ground. We have a 3rd gateway in the main, and that is going to be a 4th gateway, but I believe this 4th gateway is just a fully wall off. herO, he rotates over towards the right hand side to make sure he's in position for the Reapers. I believe he should be canceling that 4th gateway. There. So it does cancel the 4th gateway, and he'll be expanding. So 3-gate Blink into a 3rd. Very safe play here by herO. Very safe. Hallucination comes out. Hallucination spots the drop. A big scout here for herO. Confirms the initial 2-1-1, soon to be 3-1-1, and he is aware of the medevac making its way across the map. He also saw the Marines. So herO is aware. Back at home, still no shield battery. I'm a little bit concerned with the lack of shield battery. But we got plenty of units here. We have a concave of Stalkers. We collapse on the main army. Sentry pulls away. Nice control so far. The herO activates the Guardian Shield. Shuts down both Widowmines on a single shot. Goes off the medevac. Oh my god. Medevac barely does survive. And one Widowmine dropping off into the middle line. But herO, he should pull away in time. Oh no. Oh god. Jesus. herO, calm down. Calm down, herO. Does defend. Could have been disastrous. Widowmine goes down, and herO counterattacks. I believe herO does miss the main army. The Reaper, Hellion, and Marines do survive. At the same time, though, herO, he doesn't care because does avoid the main army. The main army is not at home to defend, and Percival, he's exposed. There's one tank in the main. Tank is out of position. Reapers, they dive into the mineral lines. herO, he has defenses back at home, and SCVs are going down. Brutal losses here. 5 SCVs already, and herO, he's not done. Will lose one Stalker. One Stalker goes down, and nice blink control, shuts down the Marines, shuts down 10 SCVs. And Percival, he will survive. He is getting some damage across the map. It does waddle in with a couple of workers, with a couple of Marines. It does focus down 2 probes. It is some damage, but not enough. Not enough here. Percival down to 29 SCVs. herO, he's getting his third base up and running, getting it fully saturated, fully secure. From here, working towards the Forge, +1, charge, robot production as well, and herO maintains map control. Again, it was a very chaotic couple of moments here, and Percival, he did have some opportunities to get some damage done. Unfortunately, he was unable to keep herO pinned back at home. If herO, if he was stuck defending, different story, but herO, he just counterattacked immediately. And Percival just was not ready. Unfortunately, the first tank was out of position as well. Blinks into the main, deny stim! Ooh, stim is denied. Raven should survive, Stalkers are forced out. But denying stim delays the push. It means that Percival, he's stuck in the main base that much longer. As typically, once you have stim, then we can start breaking out, we can start expanding, but Percival, he is stuck here on 2 bases. herO getting fully saturated. Upgrades are soon to finish as well. And herO, he doesn't need to push up this ramp. I mean, that would be more advantageous for Percival, you know, taking a fight on his terms with his stack defense or with his defensive position by pulling the boys as well. So herO doesn't need to push in, but really all that herO needs to do is contain. Just contain. He can take another 4th base, he can take his gases, 2nd Forge, into a Bay, into Colossus production. Speaking of, Bay is on the way. herO, he can just freely take up. And Percival, his hope here, there is a chance to bounce back in this game. His hope would be that herO's too greedy. Like if herO, say, double expands and delays his gases and doesn't quite tech up into his Colossus fast enough, if he makes some mistakes here or there, then potentially Percival can recover in this game, but most likely it'd have to be an all-in. So when I say recover, he'd have to like pull the boys, commit to an all-in, and herO would have had to have been too greedy, and then like catching herO with his pants down, or maybe sneaking out with some drop play. Alas, Percival is getting a 3rd CC, which tells us he's expanding. So Percival, he is going to be expanding here. And that means that he's not going for the all-in. Is pushing out, don't get me wrong. Stim is about to finish. +1 as well. Nice kiting from herO, does snipe 1 Widowmine. Oh! Gets a Widowmine, likewise catches the Raven. Raven is denied. herO forcing Percival back. Oh. Catching a Stalker. Ah, not bad. Does catch a Stalker and can soon push. But again, he's still bleeding out units. Losing Widowmines here and there. Forcing out a stim. Here he engages. Nice force field. Oh my god. Popping up here out of Percival. Saves some of those Marines. Again, he has good unit control here, but he just doesn't have the numbers. Here he dives into the main base, goes for a massive warp and catches the Raven as well. And Percival can't even drop into his own main. He's being zoned away. He's being zoned back. That's another 2 Medivacs falling. From here he blinks out. Colossus has arrived. Tank is exposed. No, the tank. The tank was left alone. And Percival, he's being pulled apart. He's just being pulled apart at this point. And he just cannot expand. His tank count was reset. He's got a handful of Widowmines, but no bunker on the high ground. And at this point here, he can push in. Especially with the Colossus. He has the firepower. Percival needs a miracle defense. The Widowmine's not quite ready. Can try to pull some of the boys. But even then, the Prism has arrived. Massive Warpin as well. GG gets called, and herO, he will take game number 1. Whew. GG. A solid game out of herO. Again, able to deflect the initial aggression and, again, as we mentioned, catch a Percival with his pants down. That first move out, it was so important that Percival was trying to force herO to stay back at home, to feel threatened by the drop. But because of herO's initial engagement, because he shut down the initial move out as hard as he did, it meant that there wasn't really much to really threaten him. And herO, he just had no care in the world. He just walked across the map, found an opening. It was also a little bit unfortunate, if you remember, that the first tank of Percival was in the main. It was sieged up in the main base, not at the natural. So the tank wasn't really a factor when it came to the defense, and that's when Percival lost 10 SCVs. He lost 10 SCVs, lost a bunch of his army, and things snowballed from there. Did snowball from there. GG, well played. With that, herO takes a lead, and we'll see if herO can close out the series or if Percival can bounce back. Again, here he is the #1 seed of the tournament, and Percival is the lowest seed of the tournament. That's why they're facing off in the first round. But I want to believe here in our Terran. Can we force the ace match? It's not going to be easy, but we're here for it. Are here for it. And spawning in the bottom left, oh god, in the bottom left hand corner of ley lines, we have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran. It is Percival. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Protoss player from South Korea, representing Weibo Gaming, WBG. It is herO. We go. Of course, welcome on all to ley lines. I believe the starting map is going to be persistent throughout the entirety of the round. That is usually how OlimoLeague goes. So game 1 was on Ultra Love, and I would expect game 1 to continue to be on Ultra Love here on forward. Likewise, OlimoLeague has a unique veto process in that there are no vetoes. There are no vetoes here, so we actually have Percival opting to go for his map of choice, which is going to be ley lines. Interesting choice here to Percival, and we'll see what the plan is going to be here. I mentioned before that typically we expect Percival to be very aggressive and very all-in on 2 bases in this matchup. That is not what we saw last game, so we might see a bit of a difference here, a bit of a change coming into game 2. As here, he wants that SCV. he wants the worker. Does want it, shouldn't get it. Is forced out. There we go. Is going to be forced out of the main. Likewise, Percival once again, double gas opener, faster factory, delayed CC. herO just being so annoying with this probe and is eventually going to be forced out. There we go. Forced to back up. And across the map here, just going for a standard opener. Once again, gate, cybercore into Nexus. There are times, especially on larger maps, where you can go for a faster Nexus before the cybercore, but that is not what hero's been going for, at least not on ley lines or on Ultra Love. More standard setups instead. So settling in. Last game, as a reminder, we saw Reactor to Reaper Hellion. That was, or I guess, really one Hellion into Widowmines. Not what we're seeing here, though. No fast reactor, not this time. Percival, he's scouting for proxies, making sure there's no shenanigans. After herO takes the lead in the series, it makes sense to scout, as herO now has a little bit of breathing room or a little bit of leeway to go for a cheese. So Percival making sure he's secure. Understandable. CC's on location. On location behind this, getting to a third C. Oh, sorry, 111. I saw the building. I looked at the production tab. I was like, CC? No. So going for a 111 follow-up. All good. And once again, working towards a Widowmine drop, but this time less committed with the Reaper Hellion. Again, this time only 2 Reapers as opposed to last game where it was 4. As herO going to try to force himself in. Zones away the army. Let's go to sword depths. Oh! Getting a shot off. Gets a shot off, pulls back. And Percival, he doesn't quite find a way in. Gotta bypass the main army, making his way towards the natural. And we'll see what he can get done. Adepts, I mean, herO, he's out of position. Likewise, in a way, so is Percival. Both players might be losing some SCVs here, might be losing workers. Yeah, probes are under fire. The Oracle has arrived with a Stargate opener, and the Oracle's going to completely shut this down. Meanwhile, across the map, the Adepts, they're still wreaking havoc. Oh, they're wreaking havoc. They don't quite shade into the main, thankfully. Does wall off in time. Widowmines are moving out across the map. Again, Stargate opener into Oracle into Phoenixes here to herO. Phoenixes are on the way. herO trying to break down that front door. Oracle coming in to reinforce. And alas, herO, he won't break into the main. At the same time, does he take notice of that Widowmine drop? He does. Phoenix in position. Widowmines, they threaten the mineral line. They quite drop off though. As they're going to be unloaded into the main, and the one gets lifted, the other goes down. Oof, brutal pickoffs here. Not a single probe falls. At least Percival gets a full scout. At least he's aware of the Stargate play and the Phoenixes. but ideally he wanted at least a couple of workers. So here he shuts it down. Behind this third base being taken here at the center location, a very aggressive third. This means that here he can reinforce across the map that much faster. Very assertive position here for herO. And Percival back at home, he is going to be trapped. And he's going for a third CC. Okay. Once again, like at least from what we've seen so far, I expected something more aggressive out of Percival, but no, game 1 and game 2, we're building up towards third bases, which on the one hand is cool because it means, okay, so Percival is playing macro. On the other hand, though, it also means that herO is going to be left untouched. It means that the Protoss player here is very, very much so free to expand and probe, and this base isn't going to be punished anytime soon. So I am concerned. I'm going to be concerned. Glaive at Eps? That's not what I was expecting. But Glaive's on the way for herO, setting up a proxy gateway. It does have a third on the way, that is true, but herO is going to be hyper aggressive. Glaives does not scale well into a longer game. This is for a timing. This is a very strong timing here for herO. Gonna mass up at Eps, mass up Phoenixes. We have seen herO flex this before. And we'll see if we can do it again. So as you can imagine, Glaive and Eps can actually trade quite well against bio units, especially before the upgrades get too out of hand. Stim and combat shields, they're on the way. They should be a factor when it comes to the next fight. But when it comes to the factory production, there isn't really much going on here. What I'm referring to specifically, no Widowmines or tanks yet. We have a reactor on the way for Widowmine production. Until then, this army is looking relatively fragile. And here comes herO. Oh boy. herO is pushing in. Again, there's just not much support for the army. There's not much of a backbone. I guess the backbone here is going to be the Cyclones. And here come the Adepts. They shade on in. Percival, he has to race back. No bunker. No bunker. No Widowmines, no tanks. He shades in. He commits. Does commit to the shade. Lifts up with the Cyclones. Cyclones, they get shut down. Stim is not done. Stim is 5 seconds away. Boys are being pulled. And this is already brutal. As here he makes his way into the main base, hunting down those medevacs. Adepts have controlled the low ground, and Percival is just getting picked apart. He just cannot keep up with this. He does have some Marines here to help defend, but not enough. What is that? 2, 3 Marines, they get cleaned up. There's a Viking, there's a turret, but there's no answer to the Adepts. We're going full, like, baseline Legacy of the Void. GG gets called, and herO, he will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the semifinals. GG. GG, well played. herO, he does claim the series 2-0 in a stylistic fashion as well. We do not often see Glaive Adepts in PvT. It's every now and then. It's a very niche build, and we have seen herO do this before, at least in longer series. Was free enough to do it here as well. Congratulations, herO, he will claim the series. And a shout out to Percival though, because again, for Percival to make it here to the monthly finals is an accomplishment in and of itself. So big shout out to Percival. Alas, doesn't take down or doesn't take a map off of herO, but again, herO, I would say, is one of the favorites to win the entire tournament. Like herO, he is a beast. He is one of the best Protoss players, if not the best Protoss player in the world. So he is one not to be taken lightly here, and it's difficult for anyone to go up against him. I think it was yesterday that we casted herO versus Björn in a best of 9. So again, he's been putting in the work, has been looking very impressive, and GG, well played. No shame in going down to herO. With that, herO will claim the 2-0, and now we are getting ready for our next match, for our next quarterfinals match. herO, he advances on to the semifinals, but the question becomes, who will face off against him in those semis? Ooh, as the matches, they get more and more intense here. Up next, we have a ZVT. Zerg versus Terran between Shin and Cure. Let's go.